Hey everybody. So today I wanted to look ahead a little bit to the 2023 season for the Jackets. And I wanted to kind of talk about the worst case scenario I think that the Jackets could encounter this season. Obviously, I'm a lot higher on, the Jackets this year than probably most people. So you might, immediately look at the Jackets, and if you don't know anything about us, or if you're a troll, or if you're a Georgia fan or something, you might look at us and say, oh, they're just going to suck again. They might win 3, 4, 5 games or something, maybe. No big deal. Okay. I'm just going to tell you right now, those days are over. If you want a prediction of Georgia Tech to go like the freaking 4-9, 4-8 or something, it's just not going to happen here. Okay, I'm being realistic. I'm not a homer. I'm not being a freaking an idiot. I'm telling you the truth. Okay, I've watched this team, and people act like we haven't got there yet. Even if you don't believe Georgia Tech can get back to bowl contention or whatever, predicting us to go 3-9 or 4-8 is just silly because we won 5 games last year. I don't know if people know that or not. I don't know if they haven't been paying attention. Well, obviously they haven't been paying attention. A lot of the people that tell me how bad we're going to suck this year clearly don't know what they're talking about. I get into arguments constantly on the ACC show. For those of you that don't know, I do a show every Tuesday night called the ACC Show on the Pigskin Pete channel. Check it out if you haven't seen it. We get into the argument almost every single week about Georgia Tech, and it is crazy to me how people just don't know what they're talking about, and the guys on that freaking panel are no exception. Okay, so I wanted to take a look today at the worst case scenario for Georgia Tech this upcoming season as far as wins, and I'll do the same thing for best case scenario too. So I do think there's a window. I've said it a few times, but today I'm gonna be focusing on the worst case scenario. So overall, kind of Brent Key takes over last year. If Brent Key doesn't take over last year, we win maybe one more game under Jeff Collins. Last year's team under Jeff Collins was horrible. They cashed it in. There were so many issues. They would have won maybe 2 games, maybe, if he had coached the entire year, which I was convinced that he would because of his buyout. His buyout lowered if we would have let him coach the whole season, but no. We fired him. Brent Key took over, and it was a night and day difference, okay? And that team, that Jeff Collins team, yes, there was no low that they couldn't reach. But Brent Key, it was just a different story. And I just don't see a scenario in which Brent Key doesn't get past or get below 6 wins this year. That is my prediction of a floor for Georgia Tech. I think 6 wins is the absolute lowest. You might be scoffing at me because of Vegas come out and our over under win total is 4.5. Completely disrespectful. Although I have a feeling that that's more geared towards people that don't know the team rather than I think that's geared towards public perception rather than based on their performance. Because why would it be 4.5? I don't get it. Brent Key, when he took over last year, he got to 5 wins in the middle of the season, and he had a plethora of freaking issues to deal with, right? He had not 1, but 2 quarterbacks go down. We had Jeff Sims go down, and we were completely unprepared for any quarterback to start other than Jeff Sims last year. There was no quarterback competition. There was no quarterback depth. And if Jeff Sims wasn't the quarterback, then we had none. He still was able to make something work, bring in this true freshman, won a few more games, and then he was able to win a game with some after our second freaking quarterback went down, the true freshman, he broke his freaking clavicle. He was still able to get another win, with what he had, our 3rd and 4th string quarterback. So it is impressive. And, we also had there was this issue we had last year of the special teams that was holding us back in a big way. And there was a hard ceiling on our team that was there because of the special teams. And, people don't pay a lot of attention to special teams. It really is 3 phases of the game, but you don't notice it until you're constantly getting pinned at the 10-yard line and your offense sucks, obviously. So you get the ball at the 10-yard line, you go 3 and out, you have to punt it, and then your defense has to come on the field while the other team has it at the 40 or 50-yard line. It special teams makes a huge difference. We couldn't return a punt, and we could barely punt. We could barely get the freaking punt off, and it was a huge disaster. So, even given that, Brent Key was able to get to 5 wins, and with the disastrous situation at quarterback, Brent Key was still able to get to 5 wins. And so it's hard for me to believe that. If he's able to get to the 5 wins under those circumstances, that he wouldn't be able to get to 6 wins. So, even if something were to go catastrophically wrong in the season, like 2 quarterbacks going out again, well, Brent Key has already shown that he can make adjustments on the fly during the season. He can put a Band-Aid on it and win anyway, and rally the team and win anyway. So it's hard for me to believe, even if something crazy goes down like it did last year, that Brent Key would have trouble, dealing with that, because he already did last year. That's why he got the job. He did a great job as interim. And, you can say, your argument can be, well, we don't have as good of a roster. We lost a bunch of players. We did lose several players on defense, namely A.C. Lee and Charlie Thomas, one of the best linebacking duos in the country last year. They were amazing together, and then we lost 2nd-round draft pick Keon White on the defensive line. So our defense will undoubtedly take a step back. It won't be as good as it was last year. Which was real, but that's a really high bar. We had a really good defense last year, and if people don't believe me, I don't know what to tell you. Like I said, yes, that defense got blown out, but there's only so much you can do when you get the ball at the 50-yard line. But for games when it mattered, for games when it was close, and when we needed them, they shut down the opposing team's offense. Like, for example, in the North Carolina game, North Carolina's putting 50 freaking points up on people all year. They get to us and can't, they get to 21 or whatever it was, whatever the final score wound up being. And, our defense was great last year. Anyway, we brought in some promising transfers on the defense. I think they will take a step back. There's no way our offense is going to be as atrocious as it was last year. We had no running game to speak of, and obviously there was the fiasco at quarterback. And there's just no way our offense is going to be that bad. There's just no way. Our offense could not have been worse. We have, but going into, even if you don't, I can convince you here a little bit. We have, absolutely revamped our wide receiver room. We lose our leading receiver, Nate McCollum, to the transfer portal. Well, we bring in about 5 more guys that are just as talented as him. I'm not even exaggerating. We have gone absolutely crazy in the wide receiver room for whatever reason. We've honed in on that. Our passing game is going to be our strength this year, which is weird as a Tech fan. I'm used to our running game being solid. Our running game was mid at best last year. This year, how's our running game going to be? Can't be much worse than last year. It'll probably be all right. Our passing game is going to be really good. It's going to be really good. And we have obviously a quarterback competition coming in with Haynes King and Zach Pyron, and we're very excited about that. And so what could possibly go wrong? I haven't even got to the worst case scenario. Well, if for some reason our offense isn't up to par, I just can't see our passing game being bad at all. But why don't we take a look through the schedule? We got Louisville first. If we're talking worst case scenario here, we're going to lose that, right? So in the worst case scenario, we're 0-1 to start the season. South Carolina State, that's obviously a win. Okay, Ole Miss, that's a loss if we're doing worst case. Wake Forest, a loss. So we're 1-3. Bowling Green, come on, we're not losing to Bowling Green. So we're 2-3 at this point. Miami, okay, give us a loss. We're 2-4. Then we have a bye week. Boston College. Does anybody think we're losing to Boston College? Boston College was one of the worst teams in the freaking entire country last year. Amazing that the coach has this job still, and we get a bye week, and we get them at home. There's no freaking way we're losing to Boston College. North Carolina Tar Heels. We're not losing to them either. I don't care what you say. We've beaten them twice in a row. We have their number. We shut down their offense every time. They can't get past 20 points. They can't put 20 points up on us. It's honestly unbelievable. Jeff Collins dog-walked them in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium 2 years ago on a team that went 3-9. We beat them last year with a third and fourth string quarterback. North Carolina can't beat it. It's just one of those things. I'm not even trash talking. A lot of the times you'll see in the ACC, some teams have another team's number. We have North Carolina's number. We have their number. We're not going to lose to them. It's at home too. Virginia, again, one of the worst teams in the country. They have had our number lately, but good Lord. I mean, we lost last year because our quarterback went down to them. I just don't see us losing to them. I mean, Virginia is like Virginia. They're horrible. They're also one of the worst teams, probably the worst team in the ACC. Clemson, okay, we can count that as a loss. And Syracuse, who knows what they're going to be at the end of the year. And then we have Georgia. I can't find 7 losses on here, right? I can't find 7 losses on here. That for us to lose 7 games, we would need to lose every single toss-up game, and it's just I just don't see it happening. I really, really don't. I don't know what I don't know what people. I guess they just haven't been paying attention, and I mean I get it. Georgia Tech football hasn't been exciting, but look, Georgia Tech has a proud football history, and had one of the longest bowl streaks in the country up until lately, something like 30-year bowl streak or something like that. Like, Georgia Tech is not a basement-dwelling team. We're not Vanderbilt, not Kansas. We don't miss bowls. It's just not – my point is I'm trying to make is we have a good roster. We have a good enough roster to go 6-6, 7-5. Like, we have that, okay? And so I just don't see a situation like we're not having to do some kind of crazy rebuild. It was Collins that was underperforming. It was Collins' fault that that roster couldn't make. It wasn't the roster. If that's what your concern is, it wasn't the roster. It was Collins. Okay? And we come within a freaking hair. I mean, we come in within this freaking much of a hair of competing for the ACC championship last year. And I bet people will be singing a different tune for us then. But like I said, I mean, we were this close to making a bowl last year and had 2 quarterbacks hurt. I just don't see that happening again this year, man. So you can call me crazy, call me stupid. I've got $200 bets with people, including also eating crow, like actual crow, with people. I've got all kind of stakes riding on Georgia Tech making a bowl this year. I'm not even worried about it. I'm not trying to prove some point. I'm not worried about it. Hammer the freaking over for Georgia Tech. It's easy money. It's easy money. I mean, I just don't see how you could think that Georgia Tech's going to backslide after 5 wins last year. After getting to 5 wins with everything that went wrong last year, it's just hard for me to believe that Brent Key is going to backslide that much. Especially he didn't even coach the whole year last year. If he would have, then he would have beat UCF and made a bowl. Like, with a full year, a full off season, he gets his staff in there, he gets transfers in there. We're making a bowl. Go Jackets. I'll see you next time.